Thank you for tuning in to watch the Westwood High School Junior presentation. First off, I just want to make sure you are aware of who your high school counselor is. Next, if you have not been on it, please make yourself very familiar with the Westwood High School Counseling website. If you click on the direct link, you will see it will take you to everything you possibly could need over the next 2 years. Starting up top, you'll see we have our college visit calendar, so you can see when colleges are on campus. You can learn about the counselors here at Westwood, our ACC programs, and then a variety of different topics all throughout that cover all the topics we're going to go over today in this presentation. So please, please, please make yourself very familiar with this information. Next, rank and GPA. There is a whole section of this on the Westwood website, but if you're wanting to learn how to calculate it and go over it, you will have all the information you need linked in here. And we even give you a sample transcript where I've hand calculated a student's rank, or not rank, GPA, so you can kind of see it where it falls in. So know that that is here for you. Next, endorsements versus academies. At your junior conference, you're going to be learning about what academies and what endorsements you qualify for. Academies are purely optional. They are if you take 3 to 4 sequences, and there's a complete list here and of academy electives. And if you take them, so for example, animation, if you do the 3 to 4 year sequence, at graduation, you get a stole to wear over your cap and gown. So a little bling. Versus an endorsement, this is something that is required for graduation. You must have an endorsement to graduate. There are multiple options to get endorsements. If you have your 4 core classes all for a year, you're going to go ahead and qualify for the multidisciplinary endorsement. You only have to have one to graduate. Colleges don't look at it as a bonus if you have more than one. So we try to set up every student to always get the multidisciplinary, but then students might get other endorsements for some of their academy electives or for doing other academic pathways. For example, 5 math credits can qualify you for STEM, or 4 foreign languages can qualify you for arts and humanities. So lots of options. Next is your STAR test. Every student before they graduate high school must take Algebra 1, English 1, English 2, Biology, and U.S. History. There is a little caveat for the 1 year when COVID was onset where you might have had a test waived. Next, let's talk about course selection for next year. So you will be doing this with your counselor so they can do a final credit check for you. So everybody must have the 4 core before you graduate. So 4 English, 4 math, 4 social studies, 4 science. Then everybody else needs 2 foreign language credits of the same language. Everybody needs 1 fine art, 1 physical education, and then 7 other credits that are going to count towards your electives. So for English, based off what you're in as a junior, you would look at the senior column to figure out what you're going to take senior year for your English. Same thing for math. Look at what you're in the junior column, and then that'll tell you what you should be taking as a senior. Next is IB math. So if you're an IB math student, these are going to be your IB math options for what you're in junior year, and then this is what you would take as a senior. Social studies. These are going to be our social studies options where you're sitting as a junior would dictate then what you're going to take as a senior. For science, same thing. Look at the junior column, and then you will pick your senior option. You will see for seniors, there is a lot of choice involved with picking your senior year science. Foreign language, we've got Spanish, German, French, American Sign Language, Chinese, and Latin, which we are phasing out, so there will be very few students picking this pathway. Remember, it has to be 2 years of the same language. Hopefully most of y'all are done with your language and maybe you're just taking additional that can count towards your elective category, but hopefully you've gotten your 2 required ones done by this point. Next, fine art. If you have waited till senior year to get your fine art or PE credit done, make sure it's on there. We have lots of different things that can count towards both of those. Next are your academy electives. Again, remember, if you finish a complete pathway, you can earn a sash to wear at graduation. If not, senior year, try some more different things that might be interested towards you. So for our pathways, what I've done on the left side is if I've titled what the pathway is, so teaching and training. Then it gives you the 4 years of courses you would take. Fashion design, 4 years or 3 years you would take. So you just kind of look for the junior column for the class you're in to find the name of the course you would take as a senior. More electives that we offer. And again, feel free to pause this presentation at any point if you need to be able to see this, or you can look at the accompanying PowerPoint, which is emailed with this presentation, and you can take any notes that you need. So I'm just going to finish going through all our elective pathways so you can see what you would need to take your senior year. Sports, I was just trying to be very careful and kind of whatever sport you play, just insert the name of that sport in and it's on the choice sheet for you. Okay, the other things you might need are the course catalog and the Westwood virtual choice sheet. Both of those things can be accessed here. Hopefully you have been familiar with this over the last 4 years. I love our resource of our virtual choice sheet. So when you're trying to decide what class you should I take AP Physics C or AP Physics 2? You can click on it, get a full course description written by our teachers that will help you tell you exactly what the class is like, homework load and everything. So you're making the best choices possible for you and your student. So that is all here for you. I think the key thing is make sure your schedule is balanced. Senior year is the last chance colleges look at you, but I also think you need to be realistic and know that senioritis is for real. And students always want to sign up for 7 AP courses or 6 AP courses. And then when it comes time to it, they're working on college apps, they're working on scholarship applications. And then they're just so ready to be done with high school that they're not really committed to doing all the assignments and the work. And then they all want to drop classes and take off blocks or office aids. Here's the thing, when we apply to colleges, you're applying saying you're committing to your senior course load. So if you drop classes, we have to notify them, and that can hurt you negatively in regards to college admissions. So we want to make sure you're picking the right classes for you and that you're going to be balanced for senior year, taking into consideration all the other things that happen senior year besides your classwork. Okay, now let's move on to the meat of this presentation, college. College admissions, it's going to hit fast, and we want you prepared and ready and know what to expect. So this document kind of guides us. It breaks down the college application process into a few different stages. This document is you can download it here or ask your counselor for it. They have hard copies for you. So what we're kind of in right now, so between junior year and junior summer, it's really the research stage. What we want you to do is put a list of your schools together. We want you to write down, when is the application going to be due? How much does it cost? Do they have any scholarships you will 100% qualify for? Because some, if you apply and you have a certain test score, you'll automatically get so much money. Versus some schools, you have to actually physically apply to scholarships. And sometimes they need you to apply for, like, let's say UT, it might say December 1st is the application, but maybe you have to apply by an earlier date if you want to be considered for scholarships. You need to look at each school, and then you're going to want to look up what's the application system do they use? Do they use Apply Texas or Common App? These are going to be the two most common options. Some schools will have you apply directly through their website. So this is where we're kind of at now, getting the research stage, and then we're going to move through all the different application steps, and I'm going to go through those in detail. So that research part that I was talking about, things to be thinking about when you're creating that list. Which schools do you write on here? You need to kind of think about all these different factors to find the right school for you and not get caught up in the name brand. Get caught up in what has the right major for you, the right environment. I hate cold. I would never be able to go to college in the north because I would freeze to death. It's just not possible for me. So you need to think about what's important for you and important for your family. If you click on the link above, Big Future will let you kind of sort by colleges, test scores, all of that, and help you kind of build your college list for the majors you're wanting. And you can search by location, all of those kind of factors that I listed here. So I would definitely take advantage of that tool. Next, I would say visit colleges. All junior year, your students have been invited to attend college visits on our campus, but A lot of our schools offer virtual tours that you can visit the schools from the comfort of your home behind your laptop. You can call admissions offices. You can actually physically go and visit. So please, please, please take advantage of visiting our colleges. So a couple definitions I want to cover because you're going to see these as we go through the admissions process. Regular decision, rolling admission, early action, and early decision. These four are what you're going to see a lot. So let me kind of cover those for you. A regular decision. This is where students submit an application by a specified date and they'll receive a decision in a period of time. So it might be, let's say, UT Austin. They say, please apply by December 1st, and we'll let you know by the end of February if you got in. So that's a regular decision. Versus the next category, rolling admission. This makes me think of UT Dallas. UT Dallas, once you apply and they receive all the supporting documents, you'll usually find out in 2 to 4 weeks. So they let you know and they process the applications as they come in. So that's awesome. Early action. Early action means students apply early and receive a decision well in advance of the institution's regular response. So let's think of, for a Common App school, this is where you're going to see this. So a Common App school, let's say Rice University, just because that one's in Texas. So for Rice, let's say, I'm making this up, but let's say Rice has a due date of January 30th. So for Rice, regular decision, if you apply by January 30th, they're going to let you know probably early March if you got in. However, if you do early action, which maybe is a November 1st deadline. So for Rice, if you apply early action and you get everything in by November 1st, they might say, we'll let you know by December 31st if you got in. So you'd find out months earlier if you were accepted. So that's kind of a cool thing. You can pick as many schools as you want early action. All it means is you just have to get your stuff in early and you'll find out if you got in early. So there's no harm there. Versus early decision, you make a commitment to one school only, and that's your dream school. And you have to get everything in early. And if you get accepted, you have a binding contract with them saying you will go to that school and you have to withdraw all other applications that you've submitted. So you'll never know if you got into your other schools. I really say pay attention to this dark line here. The schools to the right, early decision, the restrictive, those should be only done if you have a dream school. I would stick to the left and do the early actions 100%. That's where you should stay. Okay, so what do you do if you don't know what you want to study? And guess what? That's very common. And I know here at Westwood, you might hear everybody already knows what they want to do. In reality, most college students change their majors multiple times before they graduate, or they might graduate with a degree and then go back to grad school to change their mind. It happens. So I don't want you to feel alarmed if you're like, I don't know what I want to study yet. We've got a great selection of career assessments and explorations that are categorized by interest, personality, values, and ability, skill-based. They're all free. You just click on the link. I would recommend taking at least one test from each section. And that way you're kind of being assessed under different areas and then see which maybe careers pop up on all 4 different styles. Because if, let's say, becoming a veterinarian pops up under interest, personality, value-based, and ability and skill, that might actually be a really good career field for you for the future. So definitely take advantage of this. Okay, the application stages. Most applications are going to open up this summer for you. So after junior year, July 1st or August 1st. So my strong recommendation is use this summer wisely. Try to get as much done as possible because if not, if you start working on college apps in August and September, guess what? You're going to be doing that on top of all your school classwork. It's just too much and it can become overwhelming. Versus if you try to get a lot done over the summer, you will be so much less stressed in the fall. I can't stress that enough. Okay, so step 1 in the application. So I'm going back to that handout I showed you right at the beginning where we kind of broke it up. We've talked about the research phase. Now we're actually on to the application. So depending on where you apply, whether it's locally, Austin Community College, or if you're going to apply to Texas public schools, you're going to use Apply Texas, or Texas private schools, and most out-of-state schools, you're going to use Common Application. What you're going to do is you're going to want to look at these. What essays need to be written? So if you've written down a school like UT, you need to see what essays do they require. And then I kind of use this as your checklist. So it keeps you organized. So have you written your essays? Have you filled out the application? Do they require rec letters? And if so, have you got them asked for? Have you already asked the people? You're going to want to upload your resume. Have you done that? And have you paid your admissions fee? And then that way you can keep up with, because if you're applying to 5 or 7 schools, you can easily drop a ball somewhere. So this will hopefully keep you organized and on track. All of our amazing resources are linked in to our Applying to College website on the Westwood Counseling website. So all the handouts, everything we're talking about today, it's all there for you. Just real quickly, I want to cover what goes on a resume. For example, I also have a resume sample here for you. Again, it's linked into the presentation. It's on the Applying to College website. You can download this as a Word document and type over it and make it yourself. The one thing I will say is you will see it kind of looks weird. You have to download it to make it look nice. So let me show you what it looks like so you know that you need to be doing this. When you click Enable Edit, it'll pop up like this. This is where it has you, if you have a rank, if you test scores, you'll put your courses. Make sure you call attention to dual credit if you've done it over the summer. You're going to put extracurricular activities you're involved with. These are Westwood and non-Westwood. Any leadership you've taken on. Awards and honors. And again, Westwood, non-Westwood. What have you done during your summers? Let us know. Volunteer work. Any jobs you've had. And it can be like a real job at a business, or it can be pet sitting or house sitting or mowing yards. Colleges want to see that you're trustworthy, dependable. That's what they're getting from these. So I just want to make sure you don't leave something off because you don't think it's important. You really should be doing on there. And if you are like, I don't have any volunteer work, or I don't have something from a certain section, maybe this summer you can try to get involved and get some hours done. Or you know what, if you work a lot and you help pay the bills in your family, you might not have stuff from this, but your work section will probably be much larger. That's fine. You don't have to have something under every section. Colleges just want to see that you're staying busy or involved. Okay. So that's what you're going to be looking for. Transcripts and test scores. So that's step 2 and step 3. I always say these are the easiest steps to do. So for transcript, you literally click on the transcript order form, which is the link here. You fill it out, you pay with credit card, and our registers will complete that step. So that's a quick one for you. The test score section, you're going to have to order those directly from ACT.org or College Board. Not all colleges are requiring the test anymore, so you might not even need to submit it. And if you're thinking like, well, should I submit or not? I always say recommend reaching out to that college you want to apply to and ask them about their test optional policy, because a lot of times they'll ask you what your score is and they'll let you know if you should or not. Also, if you qualify for free or reduced lunch, you can come see me anytime. You get free SAT and ACT waivers. So just letting you know. So you can sign up for more tests. Other things I want to point out. Next year, we're going to be talking about FAFSA scholarship and college housing at your senior conference. So this junior conference you're going to be having sometime in the next month is really important to really ask questions about the application process. If you want to look ahead to see what's covered at the senior conference, we have this year's senior video and senior information sheet attached in for you. Biggest thing is don't procrastinate. Work on your college stuff over the summer. I can't stress it enough. Making sure you're staying up with your grades and home access. Junior grades are the last ones colleges are going to see in the first start part of your college application. So this year is very important. Make sure you're checking your student email every day, if not multiple times every day. You don't want to miss out on opportunities that are being shared with you. Take advantage of what your teachers have to offer you. Go to help, go to tutorials, do your homework it's assigned. Stay up to date. I can't stress it enough. And we look forward to having you at your junior conference.